Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to add my voice to this debate. Mr. Speaker, first I have a preliminary matter that I want addressed. If you look at page 1 of the report, paragraph 2.0, the committee's report reads, and with your leave, I quote, "The committee met to determine the urgency of the bill pursuant to Standing Order 1062 of the House." Mr. Speaker, I have read Standing Order 1062. Unfortunately, if you go into our standing orders, there is no Order 162. The 106 we have has to do with withdrawal of motion. So, Mr. Speaker, 106, no, please, with respect. I'm saying that I'm raising a preliminary matter for consideration before I go into the substance of the matter. With respect, page 1 of the report, paragraph 2.0, urgency of the bill, quote, "The committee met to determine the urgency of the bill pursuant to Standing Order 1062 of the House." Mr. Speaker, I am speaking from the records of the committee's report. Now, if you go to the standing orders, we only have Order 106. 106 has no 1, has no 2. It deals with withdrawal of motion. So, Mr. Speaker, if this report is seeking to withdraw the motion, then there's no need to debate it. We've been told that we should act within the rules. So, Mr. Speaker, is it the pleasure of the chair of the committee to do the needful so that, I come back to do my debate? Because, Mr. Speaker, this is a very fundamental matter of reference to our rules. And it is nowhere in the rules. There is no Order 1062 in our rules book. No, I don't know. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Honorable Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, it is obviously an error. We came pursuant to Order 160, not 106. It's 160.
Leave accordingly granted. The report is corrected.
So, Mr. Speaker, from what the chair of the committee just did, is he relying on Order 1601 or 1602, Mr. Speaker, or 3? Which of them are you referring to?
Mr. Speaker, I was very emphatic that that was an error, but we are coming under 160.
Honorable Minority
Just
Leader,
160.
it doesn't lie within your power to say whether it is 1601, 1602, or 1603. In interpretation, once he said 160, take the 160 as a whole. You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to know from the chair the leave he sought and the corrections that he made pursuant to your leave.
I think we've all heard him.
So he's relying the paragraph 2.0 now reads order 160 of the House. Is that the case? Very well. Mr. Speaker, that being the case, I shall proceed to address the House on my own views in this matter. Mr. Speaker, first, this government from day one created a certain impression to the Ghanaian public that it's a government that consults. Unfortunately, this bill, which was just introduced to the House, had no prior consultation. Mr. Speaker, the government is telling us that it is against taxation and levies, and that introducing taxes and levies will burden the ordinary Ghanaian. What we are seeing today is that after repealing e-levy, the government is introducing another e-levy. Mr. Speaker, government is saying that it is introducing 1 Ghana cedi e-levy on petroleum products. 1 Ghana cedi. So, Mr. Speaker, 1 liter, 1 Ghana cedi e-levy. If you buy a gallon of petrol, it is 4 cedi 50 pesos e-levy. So, Mr. Speaker, this government is imposing 4 cedi 50 pesos e-levy on a gallon of petrol that we buy.
Yes,
you have energy. You said energy.
Honorable Minority Leader,
levy.
I recognize Honorable Abuja.
We stood for Mr. Speaker. Mr. Abuja spoke for 19 minutes. We all sat and listened to him. Very well. I would allow you. This is your government's bill. If that's what you want to do, it's 10 o'clock. Let's proceed. No,
Honorable
Mr. Speaker, when we do it to them, nobody should cry. It's okay. Filibuster. Go ahead and filibuster.
Mr. Speaker, my nephews do watch parliamentary proceedings. They know what e-levy was, which was repealed. When the minority leader keeps talking about e-levy and they are watching, they may get confused. To save my nephews, let the minority leader just know that there's no semblance of e-levy in this house today. So you are debating a completely different bill. Actually, I want to suggest that perhaps he's been given the wrong bill, because there's no e-levy in this house. Energy sector levies, no, energy sector levies is not e-levy. How can you say it is e-levy? Show us which bill, what is the title of the bill you've got? What is the title of the bill you've got? You said you are Catholic. Do you have e-levy on your paper? You said you are Catholic. Proof. Do you have any e-levy on your paper? You don't have e-levy. And people are watching. Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head? Do you have e-levy?
Yes, you have.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Kwame, we are all Saturday borns, but yours is just too much. Mr. Speaker, when the Akufo-Addo government introduced the electronic transactions levy, you never referred to it as electronic transactions levy. Was there anything like e-levy in the law? Was the law setting e-levy? You see, you are now crying. Mr. Speaker, this is an e-levy. I would call it E-levy. E-levy go, E-levy come. That's what you're doing. Now, you said that you have repealed the E-levy which was on Momo transactions. You have now. Don't forget that when I sit down, your leader is going to be on his feet. So be careful. When I'm done, the last person to speak is the leader of the house. So continue. Continue. When I'm done, I'm not the final person to speak. When I'm done, he would be the next. So continue. You continue. Mr. Speaker, the Akufo-Addo government introduced a levy on Momo transactions. Our friends criticized it. They came and they repealed it. It's a matter of fact. Today, this same government, after repealing e-levy, has introduced another e-levy which is more burdensome than the one they repealed. This e-levy is imposing 4 Ghana cedis, 4 cedi 50 pesos on a liter, on a gallon of petrol. How much were Ghanaians paying for the Momo levy? Mr. Speaker, now you said you are not going to introduce taxes. You are now introducing e-levy, and your e-levy is more expensive than the e-levy you repealed. If you put all the taxes, the e-levy you repealed, how much Ghanaians were paying for that e-levy compared to how much Ghanaians will pay? You have said, I'm not the one saying so. Please, if you go to your report, the report is talking about the amount to be expected in this. Look at page 4, paragraph 8.0. Your e-levy is going to impose a huge burden that will cost the Ghanaian taxpayer in excess of 5.7 billion cedis. The e-levy that you repealed was less than 2 billion. The e-levy that you repealed was less than 2 billion. The e-levy that you are imposing now is 5.7 billion plus. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sweeney, I believe you are being interruptive. Please resume your seat. Honorable Sweeney, kindly resume your seat. I take offense from the statement that have you taken my girl.
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker.
members, we are honorable members, we must behave as such. Honorable Sahin, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, you didn't add the Togbi to it. It's Togbi or Sahin, you know. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Suhini is your own friend. Sometimes you should take it easy, he's your own friend. Sometimes you don't call him. That's why he said you've taken his thing. So if you've taken his thing, give it to him.
You have the floor. You have the floor.
Very well. Very well. Mr. Speaker, they are today imposing 4 cedi 50 pesos on a gallon, on each gallon of petrol. On each gallon of petrol, you are imposing e-levy of 4 cedi 50 pesos. Mr. Speaker, I want to read portions of the report. Mr. Speaker, the minister said, under object of the bill, I quote, paragraph 5.0, the purpose of the bill is to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act 2025, Act 1135, to increase the rates of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector's shortfall, reduce energy sector debt, and stabilize power supply. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kwame Agboja was talking about payment of road contractors. Mr. Speaker, for the records, this bill, this levy, is not for the payment of road contractors. Mr. Speaker, this e-levy is going to pay for the pay or take contract that you signed in 2015. This e-levy. Mr. Speaker, in 2015 in this house, Dr. Mark Esebeyabua took the NDC government to the Supreme Court, questioning the government on why it was signing power purchase agreement without recourse to Parliament. This government defended its action and said that, well, ECG had its own board. And to the extent that ECG was a limited liability company, albeit government being a sole shareholder, they could do their own business. And the Supreme Court upheld that argument for them. And that is why all those contracts were signed. Can you tell us how many power purchase agreements were signed by the Akufo-Addo government? Can you? Because the Akufo-Addo government was paying for the power purchase agreement you signed and bequeathed it. But, Mr. Speaker, I will not be hypocritical. I know my friends have not played the game fairly, but I will take it from the ending part of Kwame Agboja's submission that let's look at Ghana. And I would raise my submissions from there. If you fail to be honest with the people, this is your shame. In fact, this night is a night of shame for you guys. E-levy, you repeal, you introduce e-levy. I am surprised Honorable Jinapor is not in this chamber. When he came into office, he talked about the challenges at ECG. And I'm with him on that score. Mr. Speaker, the time has come for us as a political class to look at the institutional failures and address them. If Honorable Minister of Energy comes to this house introducing reforms, I will be the first to support him. If he comes to do politics, saying that during your time it was 22% transmission losses and our time is 40%, that is the usual politics. Now, the mistake you are making is that imposing these levies without addressing the challenges at ECG, Mr. Speaker, you will come to square one. Mr. Speaker, I want colleagues, I have chaired that board. And the problems of that institution, Mr. Speaker, the fact that I'm in opposition does not mean that you in government should fail. No. Mr. Speaker, but I'm saying that the challenges in that institution is beyond you in government and I in opposition. if we want to look at it with a partisan eye, gentlemen and ladies of this chamber, we would always come here and argue. But the problems will be there. I am rather proposing to this government that focus on reforms at ECG. The power we produce. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage this government to focus on reforms at ECG. There are fundamental challenges there, from the point where people consume the power without paying. Mr. Speaker, I'm not with the report now, but Mr. Speaker, for the 3 or 4 months that I chaired that board, there was a report that I had a privy of going through, and it was alarming. What was it? That less than 30% of the users of the power we generate actually pay. Most households have illegally connected. Most factories do not pay power. So, Mr. Speaker, in this chamber, instead of we doing the MPP NDC politics, let's spare a moment of our time. Today, with technology, there is nothing you cannot do. I hold a view that even aside this bill, you are going to get some 5.7 billion cedis if the reforms are properly handled. Mr. Speaker, quite obviously, you can rake in more and more and more. Because when we have a stable energy sector, it benefits the economy, it benefits our people, and government will be able to use resources to develop the nation rather than always going to use it to pay. Mr. Speaker, can you imagine this 5.7 billion divided by 276? This is supposed to be monthly, correct? Yes. Divided by 276. It means that this money could be for our people infrastructure. 400,000 or more can come to each constituency. So, Mr. Speaker, if we do not take steps to introduce reforms at ECG, at Ghana Gas, at VRA, at BUI, Mr. Speaker, we will come back again to say we are imposing another e-levy. And this is what I want my friends in government to take advantage of and do those reforms. For now, the reforms they spoke about, nothing has been done. When they took office, they were chasing after containers, trying to talk about containers that were not even in the custody of ECG, claiming that those containers have been stolen. All of a sudden, they say the containers have been found, and they've not held a press conference on it. They only smuggled the report to graphic to publish it on front page, and they went quiet. They forgot about the damage they did to the reputations of the management and the board of ECG, knowing that at the time they made those statements, those containers were not in the custody of ECG, but were in the custody of the ports. Mr. Speaker, there is a limit to mischief. When we get on the campaign platform, of course, we can make promises. Once you come into government, you have to recline and face the reality. Dr. Forson came here to promise us that there will be no taxes. No new taxes will be imposed. No new taxes will be imposed. No new levies. Mr. Speaker, today, what is the time? 10, as I speak, it's 10:22. In the dead of night, Ghanaians, I suspect, with this application to take the bill through the motions and the certificate of urgency. The intention of the leader of government business is to do this thing in the dead of night like they did in the gold board one. So Ghanaians will wake up to another e-levy. To another e-levy. When you have not introduced any reforms in the energy sector, all you are doing is imposing.
Honorable
another
Minority Leader, I recognize Minister responsible for education.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, I yield to him in accordance with your orders. I will yield. The Honorable Minister of Education, today you've decided to be the number 6. So you are coming on a point of order or point of information. I will yield to you. You guys will never listen to others in silence, but it's okay. Don't forget that when I'm done, your leader will speak.
Minority Leader.
What you forgotten.
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, I indicated to you humbly that I recognize the minister responsible for education. So please, kindly resume your seat and let's hear him.
Mr. Speaker, I will resume my seat. Bear with me a moment. Mr. Speaker, I can take heckling. But where backbenchers are throwing their left hand and shouting, that is unacceptable. They are all of them.